Hi guys, this is Prakash Padir, Senior Lecturer, Department of Mathematics, SDM College, Dharwad. This is first lecture on Laplace transformations. There are various topics on transformations. Laplace transformation is one of the topics of transformations. First, what is transformation? Transformation is a mathematical tool that converts one function into another. For your information, there are about 3600 categories of mathematics. Laplace transformations is one of the categories of mathematics. You know from real calculus, when y is sin x divided by dx is equal to cos x. That means when the ordinary differential operator operates on some function, it produces a new function. So like that, Laplace transformation changes a function of one variable to a function of another variable. And Laplace transformations are useful in solving many differential equations. Differential equations with initial conditions and boundary conditions. One of the powerful tools of solving the differential equations. Very effective means for the solutions of differential equations. Differential equations with initial conditions and boundary conditions. Now the definition of Laplace transform is that let f of t, function of t, be a real valued function defined for all t greater than or equal to 0. Then the Laplace transform of f of t denoted by L of f of t. L on f of t is defined by L on f of t is equal to integration of e raised to minus st into f of t dt over 0 to infinity. This particular integral is called the Laplace transformation. If this integral exists, then it will be a function of s, and that is f of s, where s is a real or complex number. Here L is the Laplace transform operator. So when we operate L on f of t, it produces f of s, that is L of f of t is equal to f of s. That means in Laplace transform, we transform a function of one variable to a function of another variable. That is, in this we transform a function of t to function of s. So when we operate L on f of t, it produces a new function, that is f of s. In this, f of t is called the object function. In Laplace transform, f of t is called the object function, and f of s is called the image function. Or f of t is called the input function, and f of s is called the output function. So when we operate L on input function, it produces a output function. So in Laplace transform, we transform a function of one variable to a function of another variable. That is, if f of t, any function of t, and when we operate L on this, L is a Laplace transform operator. When we operate on L on f of t, it produces f of s. So here in this chapter, we don't solve any problems, but we transform one function into another function. So in Laplace transform, we transform f of t to f of s. Transform the range of f of t is 0 to infinity. Since the interval is 0 to infinity, this is called one-sided transformation. Here and there is one-to-one correspondence between f of t and f of s. There is one-to-one correspondence between f of t and f of s. So inverse exists. Now Laplace transform of some standard functions. First, Laplace transform of a constant. let f of t is equal to a, where a is constant. By the definition of Laplace transform on a is equal to integration of e raised to minus st into a. That is, our object function is a, that is input function is a. So in place of f of t we put a. So into dt, integrating between 0 to infinity. Since a is constant, we take a outside. Integration of e raised to minus st dt, a into integration of e raised to minus st dt over 0 to infinity is e raised to minus st divided by minus s over 0 to infinity. Substituting for upper and lower limits, minus a by s, a by minus s is minus a by s. In the bracket, first upper limit, that is e raised to minus infinity, wherever t we put infinity in the upper limit, by upper limit. So e raised to minus infinity minus, substituting lower limit, e raised to, that is t equal to 0, e raised to 0. E raised to minus infinity is 0 and e raised to 0 is 1. So 0 minus 1. So minus a by s of minus 1 is a by s. So in particular, putting a equal to 1 in the above result, we get Laplace transform of 1 is equal to 1 by s. Next, Laplace transform of e raised to at. In this, object function is e raised to at. Operating L on e raised to at, that is L on e raised to at is equal to integration of e raised to minus at into object function, that is e raised to at into dt. This is by the definition of Laplace transform. So integration of e raised to minus st into e raised to at by indices law, it is e raised to minus of s minus a into t into dt. Simple integration, integration of e raised to minus of s minus a t divided by minus of s minus a over 0 to infinity. Substituting for upper and lower limits, so minus 1 by s minus a into, substituting upper and lower limit, e raised to minus infinity minus e raised to 0. So simplifying, we get 1 divided by s minus a. Simple integration and simple substitution. So therefore, Laplace transform of e raised to at is 1 divided by s minus a. That means we transform we transform e raised to at to function of e raised to s. So operating L on e raised to at, we get 1 divided by s minus a, or e raised to at in Laplace transform is 1 divided by s minus a. Here e raised to at is object function and 1 by s minus a is the image function. This is object function, this is image function, or you can say input function and output function. So Laplace transform of e raised to at is 1 divided by s minus a, or e raised to at in Laplace transform is 1 divided by s minus a. So replace a by minus a. Replacing a by minus a, we get Laplace transform of e raised to minus at is equal to 1 divided by s plus a. Replacing a by 1, we get Laplace transform of e raised to t is equal to 1 divided by s minus 1. Now Laplace transform of sin at and cos at. Sin at and cos at are standard functions. In order to calculate the Laplace transform of sin at and cos at, we use Euler's formula. By Euler's formula, e raised to iat is equal to cos at plus I sin at. Using this, we can calculate the Laplace transform of sin at and cos at. So therefore, Laplace transform on cos at plus I sin at is equal to Laplace transform of e raised to iat. Operating L on both sides, we have Laplace transform of cos at plus I times Laplace transform of sin at is equal to, we know that Laplace of and is equal to Laplace of e raised to iat is equal to 1 divided by s minus ia. Multiplying and dividing by s plus ia, we have s minus ia into bracket s plus ia, and s plus ia divided by, multiplying these two, we have s square plus a square with I square equal to minus 1. So s by s square plus a square plus I times a by s square plus a square, splitting into two parts. And now on left hand side we have L of cos 80 plus I times L of sin 80, and on right hand side we have s by s square plus a square plus I times a by s square plus a square. That means we have got the Laplace transform of cos 80 and sin 80. So on left hand side, the real part is cos 80, Laplace of cos 80, and the imaginary part of the left hand side is the Laplace of sin 80. On equating the real and imaginary parts, Laplace of cos 80, Laplace of cos 80 is this, and Laplace of sin 80 is this. So Laplace of cos 80 is s by s square plus a square, that is here, plus I times Laplace transform of sin 80 is a by s square plus a square. So therefore Laplace of cos 80 is s divided by s square plus a square, and Laplace of sin 80 is a by s square plus a square. So transforming cos 80 into Laplace transform, we have s by s square plus a square, and transformation of sin 80 in Laplace is a by s square plus a square. So here the object function is cos 80 and the image function is s by a square plus a square. As object function, f of t is equal to sin 80, and the image function is a by s square plus a square. So cos 80 in Laplace transform is s divided by s square plus a square, and sin 80 in Laplace transform is a divided by s square plus a square. Laplace transform of sin h80. Now the object function is sin h80, or our input function is sin h80, hyperbolic function. And by hyperbolic functions, sin h80 is equal to e raised to 80 minus e raised to minus 80 whole divided by 2. By this we are able to calculate transform sin h80 into Laplace transform. So f of 80 is equal to sin h80, and sin h80 is e raised to 80 minus e raised to minus 80 whole divided by 2. Operating L on both sides, we have Laplace on sin h80 is equal to Laplace on e raised to 80 minus e raised to minus 80, that is this function. 1 by 2 is constant, you take it outside. So by linearity property, Laplace on e raised to 80 minus, as it is, Laplace on e raised to minus 80. 1 by 2, as we know, Laplace of e raised to 80 is 1 divided by s minus a, minus Laplace of e raised to minus 80 is 1 divided by s plus a. By simple algebra and simplifying, we have a divided by s square minus a square. LCM of s minus a and s plus a is s square minus a square, and 2a divided by s square minus a square, 2 get cancelled. We have a by s square minus a square, provided s is greater than a. Okay. Hence Laplace transform of sin h80 is a divided by s square minus a square. Sin h80 in Laplace transform is a divided by s square minus a square. Similarly, Laplace transform of cos h80. Cos h80 definition is e raised to 80 plus e raised to minus 80 whole divided by 2. Operating L on cos h80 on both sides, we have 1 by 2 is constant. So L of e raised to 80 plus L of e raised to minus 80. By simple algebra, we have s divided by s square minus a square.